Being on self-improvement is one of the best decisions you can make in your life, and there's a significant amount of more benefits than downsides to it. Being very good in your physical health, your mental health, your finances, your social life puts you at a high level to become a high quality person. That's kind of the issue here though. You are someone who started out as someone who is low quality, bad physique, bad mental health, no money, no relationships with other people, or low quality relationships with other people, and then you take the self-improvement pill and just completely revert this by becoming high quality, you're going to have a bit of an ego. And from a mental standpoint, rightfully so. You were not respected. You were miserable. Nobody thought of you as someone special. And now, just after a year or two of improving yourself, your older version of yourself suddenly becomes unrecognizable. Now, you do have the respect of others. You are now quite the opposite of someone who is living in misery and now striving. You are someone who people think is special, and someone who is genuinely rare to come around in terms of your quality. And even in just a few months, this is probably the situation that I'm going to be in myself.
Trust me, you're not that guy.
I'm speaking to you here right now. My physique is pretty mid. My mental health is recovering right now. I am not well off financially, just me personally. And I have a decent amount of friends, but only one who is on self-improvement just as I am. And he lives 18 hours away from me now. Generally, at best, I could say that I'm maybe a 4, but that's just being a bit generous. So what happens when the physique becomes above average? My mental health is really good. I start making money, and I have higher quality relationships with others. Maybe all in all, taking me up to a 6 or a 6.5 even. This is already a big jump. Naturally, I am probably going to develop an ego, just out of a mixture of anger yet relief and satisfaction. I will finally make it out of a slump, and I will be an above average person in general. After years upon years of being disrespected, not valued by many, and genuinely not fond of myself, it's all gonna change. Of course, at least in my mind, I'm going to have an ego. And this is what me and you have to deal with once we make genuinely good improvement, or even going further down the timeline when we make it. You know, the top 1% physique, mental health, finances, social lives, compared to everybody else. If you are going to be someone like me who did not start off well in the early stage and was not blessed with great genetics, face it, come to terms with it. You are going to have an ego, but you cannot be seen as egotistical if you do not show it. You must always, on the outside, be a humble person. On the inside, this is all you. You will probably have a lot of thoughts in your head from your ego. Hatred, revenge, even a feeling of superiority. You can't change this, but you can choose to not show these feelings that resemble the ego that you have developed. Once you get to that stage where you have to control your ego and only be humble on the outside, really, just follow the basics of high quality human relations. If you have read How to Win Friends and Influence People, simply just carry out those principles into your day-to-day life, and you will be seen as the great person that you have genuinely become, but also as a person that is outgoing and humble when really he deserves an ego, but he doesn't. Well, at least according to what they know. If you have not read How to Win Friends and Influence People, read it. No, but seriously, just to keep it in general from that book, always show interest in others and give others a sense of importance. If you can make everything about the other person that you are talking to, they will be far from resentment towards you, and they will always want to talk to you. These things are not something an egotistical person typically gets from another person, and yet you're going to be egotistical in the long run. You're just not going to show it. I think everybody hears the negativity of ego and perceives it as something to not have at all costs, even if that means sacrificing the pursuit of improving yourself. But that should not be the case at all. If you are going to be someone who is going to be making genuine improvement, especially if you started out as someone who's low quality, a 3 or 4 at best, just as I am as I speak to you right now, you are going to develop an ego, no matter what. But it does not have to be anything negative if you just control your ego and something that is just never shown on the outside. On the outside, be humble. Show genuine interest in others. Make other people feel important, because nobody can hate you if you do these two things. Ego is something that only arises with you alongside you becoming a higher quality person in general. You have very little control of this. What you do have control over, however, is whether you display this ego or not. So boys, make sure to check on me as the months go by. I'm going to be better in every one of these departments that I've mentioned frequently in this video. If I start to speak as someone who feels superior and generally egotistical, please call me out for it, just so I can fix this immediately. After all, I really want to be practicing what I'm preaching here. Alright boys, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe. Also share with friends so we can spread this out from a community we have down here. Make sure to check the Discord if you want to make friends with self-improvement in the bio. But with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.